Hi, I'm Jenny and I am an ex-ASPer student. So I've made two videos prior to this video about my life in ASPer. So if you haven't watched that, so just go and check it out. And this video will be specifically about the things that you should bring for your stay in the next 1 year of doing foundation in UPM. So since many of you are going to be registering in your hostel or known as your college kediaman, I thought that maybe this video might help you navigate the things that you kind of really need to have for the next 1 year of your stay. So before I move on into the video and tell you all of the essential items that you need during your course of stay, I would just be giving you a brief description of what your college kediaman would look like. So as an ASPer student, you'll be placed in College 13 or known as K13. So K13 is divided into two, K13A and K13B. I stayed in K13A. So the minute you enter K13, it'll be divided into two. Left, you have the boys' hostel, and on the right, you have the girls' hostel. So for both the boys and the girls, there are 4 blocks. So in each block, there are 5 floors, and in each floor, there are 5 rooms. So when you are in K13A, you'll not only be living with ASPer students, but you'll be living with some degree students. So the first 2 floors are usually occupied by the fellows and as well as the degree students. And then the rest of the floors, like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, that is where all the ASPer students would usually live. Alright, so in each room, there will be 6 people living in one room. It might seem crowded, but actually the room is quite spacious. And you will be separated by cubicles. So you have your closet and your study table, and all of these things are just like blocking and giving you some privacy so that you don't really have like such obvious visuals of your roommates, and you have some sort of privacy and it feels kind of good. So this is how K13A rooms look like. However, K13B, this is only for the girls. Boys don't have a spot in K13B. So in K13B, the rooms are different. You don't have 6 people in a room, you only have 2 people in a room. So it's quite kind of more quiet, and you have more privacy in that sense. Alright, so if I have any footage about K13A that I will go dig through my phone right now, then I'll put it up. But if I don't, then I'm really sorry. I don't have footage of K13B, sadly. So my internet is bad and I can't video call you, but let me show what it looks like. So this is my view. Yeah, open my door. Wow! It's supposed to be 6 cubicles. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I got the first one. So I had to like bring all of this in here on my own. So this is how my room looks like. I will clean it up and I'll update you guys later. Alright, so the first thing that you probably need, the first thing that you really need is an extension plug. So each cubicle has 1 power plug socket, and trust me, that is not enough to carry out your daily activities. So get an extension plug with 4 other power plug sockets in it so that you can plug in your table fan, you can boil water in your electric water heater, you can charge your laptop, charge your phone, and do everything else simultaneously instead of taking turns, which is going to be so time consuming. So do get an extension power plug socket. So the next thing you're gonna need to have in your room is a table fan. I'll be putting up a picture of the table fan that I had. So it's not too big. It didn't take up much space when I put it on my table, at the corner of my table. But it was definitely a lifesaver because it can get really hot in your room. So let me just give you a disclaimer. In your room, I've already mentioned in K13A, you'll be sharing it with 6 other people. And you only have 2 ceiling fans in the middle. So most times you don't even feel the air coming from the ceiling fan, especially during the afternoons. So this table fan would be your lifesaver, and it's on 24/7 in my room because it is so hot. So yeah, and at night when it's really hot, I would sleep with the table fan on as well. So this is definitely a need. A table fan is a need. Next, you have an electric water heater. So why is this important? It's because we don't have water filters in every floor like what you'd probably be expecting. So UPM is on a budget, all right? So you don't have Kolej, you don't have Cuckoo, you don't have any of those kind of stuff for you to fill up your water for your everyday purpose. You do have one gigantic water dispenser in the middle of like the girls' hostel, so that's 4 blocks, right? So in the middle of all those 4 blocks, there's just one gigantic water dispenser. So what we usually do is that we buy these gigantic spritzer bottles, which is like 5 liters and stuff like that, and every week we would go and fill up water from the water dispenser, carry that heavy bottle back up. I lived on the 4th floor, so I had to carry that water bottle back up, and then I would use that water for a week. And to be honest, we don't really find that water dispenser that hygienic because it is outdoors, by the way. So what we usually do is that we don't drink the water directly. We will boil the water before consuming it. So that is why you need an electric water heater, so that you can boil your water that you got from the water dispenser. Yes, that is the rationale of it. The next thing that you should have is a laundry bag. I'll put up a picture of how it really looks like. You can get it on Shopee and it's really cheap. So you need this laundry bag because, right, this is how it looks like when you go into K13. So in the girls section, there will be one block that has the laundry room. Not every block has it, only one block has it. So you have to travel from your block all the way to that laundry room, and you have to do your laundry. And in that laundry room, there are only 3 washing machines and 3 dryers. So most of the time you have to wait for your turn because there will be other people who put it in first, and you have to like line up and stuff. So that laundry bag is really helpful because it helps you bring your laundry all in one go without you making so many trips, and you can just place it in line and just wait for it. Laundry bag is important unless you are really hardworking and you don't want to put your clothes in the washing machine and you want to wash it by hand. Then feel free to do so, because in the toilet there is like a specific place, like a specific sink for you to wash your clothes. So if you don't want to put it in the washing machine, you want to save money because that costs money, yes, then you can wash your clothes in the toilet. So this is not really much of a need, it's more of a want. So I put it there because I've never been away from home. So I had a good feeling I would be homesick, which I did feel homesick for the first 2 weeks. I couldn't stop crying. All I wanted to do was just go home and be with my friends and family. So I think a cork board would be really nice because you can put up all your high school memories, you put up pictures of your friends, pictures of your family, and anything that reminds you of home. And I put it by the side of my bed, so every time I walk into my cubicle, that's the first thing I see, and it just gives me some sort of warmth. So if you're a person who is not used to living on your own, who's not used to living in a hostel, then this would be something nice for you to remember. So I would definitely suggest and recommend it. Yeah, you should do it. A mirror, really essential. They don't provide mirrors in your cubicles, they only provide mirrors on that corridor of your floor. So there are 2 long mirrors so that, you know, before you go off to class, you can check how you look like, how your fit looks like, and you can fix it if you don't really like it. But I would also recommend you to have a mirror of your own in your room. Don't get the long mirrors from IKEA, just get a small mirror like the ones guys use for shaving. Yeah, buy that one and hang it in your closet door. That's what I did. So if I wanted to do my makeup, if I want to do anything, I can just easily look there instead of going outside and bringing all my makeup in my hand and looking like a fool where everything just kept dropping off. So a mirror should be in your list. If you know, it should be in your list. this is a must. Dry food, biscuits, bread, anything that can be your snack, peanuts, everything, bring it, because you are going to be working day and night. Okay, majority of the people who are in ASPer don't even sleep until past 12, so you need snacks. You can't keep going to the shop to buy food because that's going to be costly. So speaking about food, I'll get into that later on in the video, but yeah, you need lots of snacks, so stock up. All right, what I did was, because I didn't live too far from UPM, so my parents could come and pass me stocks of new dry food every 3 weeks or so, like that. But my friends who lived really far from UPM, they went out as roommates and they did grocery shopping together so that they could get some dry food and just eat as snacks. So do get dry food. So this is not something to do with the video. This is just a disclaimer of how the whole food business works in UPM. So in K13, there's like a gerai or waro. It's not really a shop, it's just really a gerai. So we call it MZ. Okay, that's in K13A. So you have the typical fried stuff, fried noodles, fried rice, and then you have your nasi lauk and stuff like that. And the price is like minimum 5 ringgit and above. It's not like your high school, trust me. Food in UPM is actually kind of expensive. However, if you're feeling a little bit more hardworking that day and you're not too lazy, we don't really eat at MZ. We would rather walk to another cafe that is linked to another college. So this cafe is called Serumpun. It's linked to Kolej 12 and Kolej 14, where all of those are degree students. So the reason we walk all the way to Serumpun is because they have more variety than MZ, and it's just a nicer place to hang out, to be honest. So if you're more hardworking and you feel like you want to eat something more delicious, then definitely walk to Serumpun. And then there's another cafe on the other end, which is called Putra Cafe, Putra Food Court. I'm not sure what it's called, PFC, Putra Food Court. So that's also a place with more variety than MZ. This is not MZ slander, by the way. I love MZ. But my point is, these are your food options nearby your hostel, so that you have a rough idea of how easily food can be accessible. Yeah. Okay, one more thing. When you go for classes in Pusat Asasi Sains Pertanian, which is like near the library, you'd have to take a bus there. You want to walk there? I mean, sure, it's far. I don't know if you can reach on time. But yeah, sure, nobody's stopping you. But if you want to bring a bicycle and ride your bike there too, okay, that's great. But let me just let you know that you have a free bus that comes and picks you up from Kolej 13 all the way to Pusat Asasi Sains Pertanian. It's just that it might be a rugby match to get a seat, so be prepared. My point is, when you go to Pusat Asasi Sains Pertanian, there are very little food outlets. There's a cafe called He and She. You can look at how the cafe looks like in one of my previous videos. So that cafe is honestly overpriced. So if you're trying to live on a budget, that is not a place for you to go to every day to get food. So there's another restaurant where you have to walk a little bit further. So it's near the CIMB bank and stuff like that. So the food there is decent, the price is also decent, but sometimes you're just really tired from classes and you don't really have the energy to walk there. So I understand. So this is where the dry food comes in handy, so that you can pack like sandwiches or biscuits so that you can sustain during your lunch break, and then once you're back from classes, you can go and have a nice heavy lunch plus dinner. So I'm just giving you a heads up, when you go for classes, there are not many food outlets. If you're not living on a budget, sure, He and She Cafe can be your go-to, and you can also order food from Grab. But if you're gonna do it on a daily basis, like a religious thing, then it's not really advisable because it's gonna be costly. So yes, dry food can help you live when you have classes. So this is not a need at all, this is just more of a preference. So in ASPer, the lecturers give you notes which are in a form of slides. That is how lecture notes look like. So these lecture slides can go up to like 50 to 60 slides per lecture. So if you don't have an iPad, it's usually like the most convenient way to annotate notes by the side of those slides are by printing those slides out. So right below the library, there is this shop that does printing services. So you have to pay like 10 cents per page. And if it's colored, if it's a colored printing, I think it's 50 cents per page, which is just like any other shop that does printing services. But if you don't want to print that, or if you feel like it's such a hassle, because they have operating hours as well, which they close at 4:30 p.m. I think. So sometimes if you want to print it after class, you might miss that operation hours and the shop might be closed. So if you feel that it's such a hassle and you want to bring a printer, sure, go ahead. It is not a need, but just letting you know that there are other options as well. Okay, so this is the fun part. Bring badminton rackets, because that's like a really great way to relieve stress with your friends. So usually what we do during the weekends is that we would either play near our hostel, or we would even walk 3 kilometers all the way to the Pusat Sukan UPM, and we would play at their badminton court over there. The thing is, they don't provide you any rentals for badminton rackets and whatnot, so you have to bring your shuttlecock, your badminton racket, and the badminton court in Serumpun Cafe requires you to bring your own badminton net. So make sure you have these things so that it's so much easier when you go there and you can just play for fun. And yeah, it's a great way to relieve stress, especially during exam seasons. You would always see the ASPer kids play badminton at 12 in the midnight because they're so tired of studying, and you should have it. Alright, so no, they do not provide an iron or an ironing board. You have to bring that on your own. In most cases, even though each and every one of the roommates bring it, at the end we usually just share one of these person's iron or ironing board because we're just so lazy to get our own. So yeah, but yes, you should bring it because you don't want to have your clothes all crinkled and crumpled up, and you don't want to look like that going to class. So please do iron your clothes and look smart every time you go to class. Alright, as for clothes, right, make sure you have a lot of formal clothing, in the sense of like when you go for classes, the ideal type of clothing for you to wear is probably like a button-down shirt, slacks. For girls, you can wear slacks or even like a long skirt below your knees. And you would want to wear closed shoes. It could be anything. It could be your Nike Air Forces. It could be flats. It could be anything really. But that's like the ideal type of clothing that you should be wearing. However, the clothing sense in ASPer is not that strict. So you can wear jeans to class. Just make sure they're not like skinny jeans or really tight jeans. Like straight cut kind of jeans. That's quite nice. And if you wear a t-shirt, make sure it's collared. Don't wear like those jersey t-shirts that you would wear to go out to Pasar Malam. Please, this is class that we're talking about. So look smart at all times, and yeah, just wear something casual, smart casual or formal. If you have a presentation, it's best you wear like your button-down shirt, your tie, your blazer, or for girls you can wear your baju kurung as well. So if you have a presentation, it is definitely recommended to look your best, because the way you dress up, your dress code, contributes to your presentation marks. So make sure that you have a set of clothes that can be considered as formal, so that you can prepare for your presentations and whatnot. And that is all for this video. I hope it was helpful, and if you have any more questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram.